Yeah, Houston heat rising off the concrete grate. Another morning where the broken find their way. She's walking slow, carrying more than she should hold. A clipboard and a promise in the Bayou City cold. I've seen 100 helpers come and fade to noise. Big hearts and good intention, then they lose their voice. So I watched her from a distance, told myself the same. One woman on these streets won't change a thing. But she says, hope lives when the sidewalks hard and the shelter is full. She says, hope lives when the phone don't ring and the cupboard's bare. When the system says there's nothing left to give, Marsha stands in the gap and says, hope lives. Some days are good and some days are tough, but hope still. Then I saw the man who hadn't met somebody's eyes.
Hello, friends. Welcome to our live today. Hopefully, everyone's doing great. If you're going to be joining us later, please let us know in the comments, Team Replay. Today, we are hosting an event with Bill. If you know him, share some love in the comments, please. Really excited to be able to be hosting. Of course, the circumstances are not exciting. We're going to have a real conversation about what's occurring. I recently got involved in the case, and so whatever Bill is comfortable sharing, of course, I'll let him do that part, and then I'll jump in as I can put in what I know up to date. So with that, for friends that don't know me, my name is Martha Lobos-Amaya. I am the founder of Connect Impact Hub. And what we're doing at this time is we're providing advocacy services, either in the healthcare or the unhoused community. And that's how I became involved with Bill's case regarding the housing situation. So Bill, please introduce yourself to friends that may not know you, a little bit about you, and then we'll jump right in. Okay. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
How did you mute it? I can hear you now.
Okay. That's the hard part. Tell you about myself. My name is William Rochelle, but you can call me Bill. And life has been great. It has, up until when it wasn't. I've lived for the past 4 years with one consulting gig and have totally gone through whatever savings or retirement that I might have. I actually ran out of money in December. And through the kindness of strangers, I have been afforded the ability to eat, to purchase medication periodically, and to get my lights paid. So I did a campaign in January about Substack, and that was really good, but it was only for that month. And it was able to get my utilities paid, but my mortgage has not been paid since December. I applied for jobs daily. I revise my resume like multiple times. I even send out newsletters that focus on what I bring to the table, the value that I add. I actually like to do 2 different types of newsletters. If I'm talking too much, please let me know. But my morning newsletter is more about business and about what I bring to the table. So it attracts recruiters.
Mhm.
And then my evening one is more about how to lift yourself up, because I find that that is more what people need to hear about. And the other one is more talking about the value that I bring to a business. And we're multifaceted, right? So I do bring value to a business, but I'm also a human going through a real human experience.
Mhm.
And I do not know how to navigate these waters. So, what I did a few months ago, I think it was maybe a month ago, is I created a GoFundMe.
Mhm.
And three people donated to that GoFundMe. And I want to thank them immensely. It means the world to me. I have their names in my head. Most of them did not want to be named, they wanted to do it anonymously. And then they said they couldn't figure out how to do it anonymously.
Right.
Um, and I sent out the GoFundMe thinking I have a 30,000 person network on LinkedIn, and I have this big YouTube channel.
Mhm.
And that just by posting it, if one person just donated $1 each of my network, then I would be okay.
Mhm.
In the meantime, because I don't let water or grass grow under my feet, I've been pulling every lever possible to ensure three things: that I can continue my job search on a regular basis because I do want to be hired, that I can get the medication that I need, and that I can keep my house.
Yeah.
Now, each one of those areas has been a moving target for me. And so, what that means for those out there that have never been in distress is the moment that I find out that I have one area taken care of, then you get the notice that your lights are about to get cut off. Then you get the notice that your bank account is closed. Then you get the notice that your car is getting repossessed. And the reason why that is so challenging is because you have to go through life with the belief that everything is going to work out in your favor. You cannot let life tear you down and rip you apart. And I've always thought this, Martha: what was the defining moment
Mhm.
that made that person unhoused?
Yeah.
What was the defining moment? And I think it is giving up.
Mhm.
And I wake up every day proud of where I'm at, every day enthused about what God has given me. But to be very, very honest, I received a letter today from legal that said I needed to resolve this ASAP. Now, they've cut two checks for me that
Yeah.
that will help, but they will not release the money
Mhm.
unless I come up with originally $8,000. And then now, after fighting, that's decreased some, but not that much. It's I have nothing. I have no bank account. I have no food. I have no, no way of paying for my copays for my medicine. And in Florida, the health for first of all, Florida's number one in car repossessions, and they're number one in foreclosures. I'm in Florida by myself. So everyone I know is in Los Angeles. I don't have any friends in Florida. I came here to build a business, and that business closed during COVID. And so a lot of people make this mistake especially from Gen X, right? We work hard. And because we work hard, a lot of our relationships are built around work or
Yeah.
co-work or networking. And that means that once that area of your life is done, there's a section of you that recognizes too late that those friendships that you've developed have not been established. The
Yeah.
other part that I do want to say, and then I'll hand it over, is that I've screamed from the mountaintops to my cousins, to my brothers, to my family that I'm in a desperate situation. And because of who I am and the way that I generally carry myself, and I'm about to shut this back here so you guys can see how good looking I am. Um, and because I'm so jovial and I don't like to come publicly with the distress that I'm in, no one's taking it seriously. They're like, "Oh, he'll be okay," but I'm not, and I need help, and I don't have 2 weeks to wait. I'm gonna shut this real quick if you don't
Yes.
mind.
Yes. Thank you, Bill, for sharing that. As you were talking, we what we see on in the front is we see, oh, Bill has all these connections and he can get support and he looks like he's got it put together. So why is there such a need? Well, I have been behind the scenes, and I have learned a lot. Bill has done everything he can, and he's done an exceptional job at advocating for himself. And now I'm stepping in, and I can tell you from my advocacy experience that when you're knocking on every door possible, the doors no longer open. Yeah, I mean, there's no doors to open at this moment. That's really the reality that we're facing right now. This request is urgent, and this is why I decided to come live today with Bill because everything has been done. There is legal involved as well. And it is not just we're going to handle it in a week, it is an ASAP type of situation. So I am supporting as much as I can in the background, but there's only so much that I can do as an advocate and call different numbers and reach out to the community where he's residing to request support. But we're here now to request support from our community, our LinkedIn community, our TikTok community, our YouTube community. Please support. This is what Bill's going through is what we see. I've seen a lot in different people that I work with in the in-house community where they have everything together, and whether it was a health condition or maybe something happened significantly in the family that caused some difficulties in the person experiencing mental health. I mean, there's so many different scenarios that we need support. We cannot think straight when we're going through our depression, our anxieties, our stress, because we're worried about how are we going to pay this bill? How are we going to do this when we can't even get a job? Finding a job in itself is a stressful situation. So, Bill, you have a couple friends that have joined us too, and I do want to just acknowledge them really quick, and then I'll pass it back over to you to talk about. I know you have been expressing your concerns and the need on your social media platforms, but the support, we need a little bit more support from our friends. I see Omar is here. Thank you, Omar, for joining us. And I see our dear Annie is in the building. Thank you, Annie, for being here with us. Please share the event, and because we want to get as many eyes as possible. And if there is a resource out there that helps with support, financial support, please let us know, because this is what we're needing at this very moment is the financial support. Bill?
I would say first, I want to say this to Annie because he threw me for a loop yesterday. And Um, my 10 o'clock hour is that of uplifting. And he asked me what was the difference between one GoFundMe and and mine. And I said, well, number one, I didn't know the woman that needed the help. I just knew that it was someone who needed help. And I created what you're doing for me today, Martha. I took my platform and I said, what good is it to have a platform if you can't use it to help somebody else? So I wrote articles. I um, had her co-host with me a couple of times. I think it was me and her and Mike LeBlanc and Peter. It was kind of cool. It was the beginning of my podcasting days. But what shook me was the difference with her. And the reason why I say her is that I don't even remember her name, is that we were able to get her $6,900 in a week. And he said, what was the difference between her and what you're going through? And she was losing her house. Her car had broken down. And then she told me that her dog broke his hip. And I looked at my dogs and said, all right, let's get you what you need to get over this hump. And I just jumped right in. I don't know if she already had the GoFundMe, but I took it and I made articles out of it. And I sent it out to my 30,000 followers. And I repeated it over and over and over again, like my life depended on it. And within a week, she had more than she needed. I stopped looking after the 6,900 because that was the goal that we had set. But it probably exceeded that number. The part that struck me with any was I'm a human being that is about to lose my home, my car, my ability to get my medical needs taken care of. And I will throw this in if it makes anyone feel more compelled. My dog, because where's he going to go? I have a 150, 200 pound Akita, and they are one owner dogs. And he is, he's sweet to me, but not to most. And if you understand the nature of an Akita, they're not temperamental, they're just in their own zone. So when he said, well, that's the key, she had a dog that needed help and people help for dogs, that kind of blew me away because I saw a person in need and I saw that need was immediate, and I felt as if she was going to have a breakdown. And I said, what can I do to stop this? And so when people say, what do you need? I need more contributions to my GoFundMe immediately.
Yes.
Immediately. It went from 3 people to 4 people because I re-upped it yesterday. I need people to not just, and I don't want the same people that support me to do it. They've done their job. They've done their job. It needs to be a collective network of community that says the same thing that I would do to someone whose name I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know this person, but I don't want to see them suffer. And every single day, I don't want to ask anyone for money. I have my own platform. And I will slip it in underneath like the radar, but I don't think anyone takes it as the emergency that it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you heard that today.
Oh, yes, I did. Yeah, Bill, and you know, just you being on this live right here, this is real courage. We feel a certain way when we're put in these positions of vulnerability, and then to speak about it out loud just to get support, because the support that's we hear about available is not available right now, and now I really need support. So Bill, like, I hear you loud, and I witnessed that call. I was on a couple calls today with Bill, and Bill has done beyond everything, above and beyond, to get the support that he needs. And he's done wonderful with the support he's gotten up to date. But right now, we are on a time constraint where we are needing this financial support to get his house to not go into foreclosure. So this is urgent. So I hope that whoever is listening can kindly share. If you're not able to donate, to share this event with someone else, put it on all your platforms. This is really a call for help. And Bill doesn't appear, right? He looks great. But I'm going to tell you right now, this circumstances that he's in will put anyone in tears, anyone in a depression mode, and in a very down mood. But Bill is showing up because this is his processing. The way he processes to connect with community. I've learned a tons from you, Bill. Okay. I support you, and I am so grateful to know you. And my way of giving to you is, you already know how I can
It's
give.
perfect.
And
It's been perfect.
just keep showing up, and keep showing up. And if you can't help financially, just show up and support him. Come to the event,
Share
share
the
his
link.
event.
Share the link, and share a story behind the link, because just sharing it doesn't really say anything and people don't notice it.
Right.
I need people out there that can, similar to what I did for the lady, build a story around her GoFundMe that
Mhm.
people react to, and I don't know how to do that for myself.
Yeah. Well,
Now, I
we're doing
I
it
can tell
right
you
now, Bill.
I
We're
can tell
doing
you
it for
guys
you right now.
I can tell you guys a ton of sob stories if you want to hear them. I mean,
So
you know, my dog
yeah.
died in January. Um, if I don't get my medication, I will die. Period. My kidneys are failing. I was diagnosed 10 years ago with HIV, which I've never talked about, never told anybody about, because I kept it to myself, because I don't want to be someone out there that's saying, feel sorry for me. Right now, the medication that I take is being restricted by the governor of Florida. And I don't have any food support. So things like SNAP benefits that other people could be privy to, which I was utilizing last year, all of that ended in December. My healthcare ended in December, all of it. So in January, I had to make a choice on food versus medication. And I think that's when I first did my round of Substack, but I wasn't telling the full story. I wasn't saying that that I'm about to lose my house. And the reason why I wasn't saying that is because I don't have a mindset of lack. I have a mindset that I'm going to be okay. But there's a certain point where you have to be honest. And I've waited to the last moment in order to go and ask for this help. So if I lose my house and my car is repossessed and I have no friends in Florida, where do I go? Where do I go? And out of love, I wouldn't put my dog through that if I can't afford to feed him.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Bill,
mhm.
you have shared a lot of private information.
Oh, but they're too much.
No, it's not too much, as long as you're comfortable sharing.
I'm not comfortable, but I feel like
You're,
no
you
one
are,
recognizes
yeah.
how no one recognizes how I show up every day with a great
Mhm.
attitude and how I help everybody else and never complain about the things that I'm going through, except for the fact that I need a job.
Yeah.
And there's all these other underlying things that are so critical to my survival.
Hmm.
I don't know how I'm going to get a phone call to get a job.
Yeah.
I don't know any of that. And then I'm worried about my health. And people say, well, at least you have your health. I don't have that.
Yeah.
I do not have it.
And it's difficult too because of what you're facing. How can you take care of yourself? This is something that it's big in my area is we can't tell people to take care of their health, and yet they have a list of worries. How are they going to take care of themselves while they have this list of worries that just keeps continuing to grow? So, Bill, everything you've shared, I understand completely. We do have a question. I do want to acknowledge a couple of our friends that came. Leslie, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And also, Charles said we all need a village. Thank you for joining
I
us,
agree with
Charles.
that, Charles.
And then, Brother Christopher, thank you for joining us. So, I have a question here from Ennie. He wants, how do you want us to support? And I think you said that already, but I'll just do a little brief. So you can share, you can like, you can comment, you can donate on all platforms, whichever ones you're connected with. Share this event, the YouTube, the LinkedIn. Feel free, the GoFund page, which will be listed right here on this event. There it is. Share the GoFund page. This is pretty urgent. When we were told today we need ASAP, this is like by Friday. We need support. I mean, we don't even know if we have till Friday. We're trying to find out right now what is ASAP be,
Yes.
because we're trying to get a clear answer. But what we do know is we have already went above and beyond all the resources that could support, and now we're at this timeline where we have to come up with this funding. And Bill, you can share what the amount is of what is needed to be able to stabilize your housing.
It fluctuates. So I'm going to say a minimum of like $4,200. And I'm going to share this with everybody else because this is happening in my friend zone and my family zone. Everyone likes the GoFundMe. They comment thoughts and prayers. I need the cash. I need people to donate.
Yeah.
And
And the
it doesn't.
reason, there's a reason behind that.
Go ahead.
So he needs the cash because he has to get a cashier's check. He has to have the money in the bank to get a cashier's check to then provide it to the organization that's going to be helping him with a portion of what's needed. So there's a couple of steps that have to take place here, but he has to come up with his own portion. And that's where we're at right now. Him coming up with his portion, how's that going to happen when I don't have a job? That's where we're at right now.
And I have no money in the bank. The other thing, when I say that, because it's hard to say that I need money. I just don't like doing that. But when I say that is everyone else thinks that somebody else is going to do it. And I think that I need people that are going to do it. And I've had 3 or 4 people that have consistently done it. But right now it takes more than that.
Mm-hmm.
It takes more than that. And what I just described was just for the house. It doesn't include the car or the phone bill or the lights or anything else. Everything in the next few weeks will dissolve, and I will just go radio silent. And I don't know mentally how I'm going to deal with that, because if you bottle everything up and keep everything down, at some point you crack.
Mm-hmm.
I've lost my Buster in January, and to think that I'm going to lose Bruno next month, and then my own health, and I'll be walking instead of sleeping in a car. I won't even have a car to sleep in. So this is not normal. This is not who I am as a human being. There's no shame to anyone that has gone through this.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to cry, you know.
Yeah.
I'm trying, because my go-to is levity, right? So I'm always going to be like, hey, but that's not how, that hey is not how I'm feeling right now.
No. And Bill, you know, I wish I was close. I would give you such a warm hug. And I know all the friends that are here in the comments right now would do the same, because just listening to your share as a human being, I resonate. What you're doing right here, right now, I am very sure there are many people on social media that connect with you that look like they're doing good, that are going through very dark times right now, Bill. And so this right here, not only is it giving encouragement that it is okay to ask for help. And I've gotten some comments in the past about GoFund pages, right? But when I'm now involved in the cases, I am now going above and beyond. And I'm like, let's go live. Let's share if you're comfortable. How can I help you? I don't want to push myself to support unless you are okay with it. And I thank you for saying yes, Bill, because this is a lot. I know it is. I see a couple of comments here. Jay said healthcare deserves 100% attention. Oh, definitely. And we will be speaking about that very soon too. Then I have Brother Christopher. He said, we all need help from our medical and can't get the people need to get better insurance, deny health care. Yes. Thank you, Brother Chris. The healthcare system in itself is it's a whole world to tolerate in the best way. But we are asking for support. And to remove the GoFund, I've heard negatives about having GoFund pages, but right now we really are in need of support, friends. Like what I heard today over the phone with Bill, my heart felt very heavy for Bill, okay, as an advocate. And to hear that everything that can be done has been done, what do you do? What do you do when you don't have the funding? So we're here on live. Please support the GoFund, and I'll be resharing that here in the comments and also in the live.
May I share one more thing?
Yes, please, Bill. This is all about you. Please share.
So the other part, and this is what is so frustrating for me is that the checks have already been cut to take care of what I need. But because of bureaucracy, they won't release it unless I give them this money. So imagine that the money that you need to keep yourself from being homeless is being denied because you don't have $4,000. And you heard that. And we've
Yep. And
talked
there
about
was
that.
no, I offered to write a letter, to make a phone call, and there's no ifs and whats. That's it. Bill has to pay this money. That's it. There's no ifs and whats. There's nothing else that can be done.
So with that said, I mean, I'm thankful for you, Martha. I'm also thankful that you have today took the reins because I am mentally tired. I'm mentally tired. I can no longer kind of concentrate
Yep.
because every day when I wake up, I look to see if my car is there and I look to see if there's a note on my door.
Yeah.
And
And
that's not living.
no, it's not. And I heard it in your voice, Bill. I heard it in your voice, and that's why I stepped in when we were speaking with the young lady on the phone today, because I could hear it in your voice. You
So I don't know where Martha went, but we're going to beg that she comes back. Um, I'm sure she'll be back soon. Are we still live? I think we are. Does she know she took herself off the stage? Again, not sure. So this event is because I need help uh, with retaining my home, and there are several factors, and they gave me a limited time in order to come up with the final amount of money, and it's critical. My healthcare is as serious as it can get, and without a home and a phone right now, you guys can't see it, but I think we're having I live in Southern Florida, so it's torrential rain out there. So without a car, I can't even get to the grocery store. But without a house, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
what else to say.
Yeah.
Um,
No, you've said everything you had to share, Bill. I mean, if people really care and they want to know more how they can help, they will reach out to you directly, or they can reach out to me.
I would love for them to reach out to you.
Yes, that's fine. Please send all messages my way. And then I'll also post. So if you want to reach to the organization directly, we do have a way to do that. Connect Impact Hub. Reach out. If there's something that we can do to support Bill in getting this money, let us know. We're happy to support this. But we really need, this is a call to action for Bill at this moment. And Bill has shared some very sensitive information concerning his health. If there is anyone in the field that can provide some resources that can support him financially, please let me know. Reach out to me directly here on LinkedIn, on YouTube, Connect Impact Hub, or Instagram. We're on Instagram too. And please know, I've seen some comments Bill posted on his GoFund, and there was a couple messages there from not real people that say, if you send an email to me, I'll help you help you grow your GoFund page. we don't want scammers. Okay, we want real legit people that are really going to take action and support.
Yes.
And please just share. If you can't support financially, you can support by just sharing, liking, commenting the GoFund page, because this is urgent. I wouldn't be up here saying this very loud. This is a very urgent request.
Thank you, Martha.
You're welcome, dear. So I wanted to see Bill because I know today has been a very heavy day. I think we've been on for the last couple hours, me and you going back and forth with everything going on, and I'm waiting on some phone calls as we speak. But it's the situation that you're finding yourself in, Bill. It's not something, if you have never gone through it, you won't understand. But if you've gone through it, you understand that when you're in this situation, when you're going through the trenches, as they say, you are going through the trenches, not just externally, but internally. And it's heavy. It's very heavy. So pour love into Bill at this time. Lots of love his way, because it's not an easy task to maneuver. And if you know of a job, reach out to Bill. He's open for work. Has said that multiple times. Actually, I think on every live, you say that very loud. I'm open for work. I'm looking for a job. And he's very transparent about what his needs are. But asking for support, I witnessed today how hard it was for you, Bill, to say something. And that's when I jumped in. and then I had to remember, okay, we know what we need right now, but we have to address it in a certain way. And sometimes
you also kept me calm. Mm-hmm. You also kept me very, very calm, because when we spoke with the young lady, she even said that I was much nicer with you on the phone, because it's so emotional, and you're like, my blood pressure starts to rise. I can feel my heart beating in my head, and the fact that everything has been ripped apart from 2025 to 2026 it's a lot. And I know everyone's going through it. I don't wish this upon anyone, but I can tell you one thing, that I don't know where my blessings are coming from, but I do know this, that I 100% have been on the bottom and I've been on the top. And I will never let anyone suffer the way that I've been suffering. My cousin told me, final statement, the other day. He said, you would give someone your last dollar. And that's the difference between me and you. And we both laughed about it, because no one knows how bad it is. I just laughed because someone asked to move in with me and they don't have a job. And I said, sure. And he was like, why would you do that? And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So anyway, That's it. That's all, you guys.
Yes. So I'm going to share the QR code also here. Bear with me. I'm just going to bring it up here. So there we go. So you can just use your phone and get that QR code. Share it, please. Share any love you want to Bill. Right now, the support is very high. Please, friends, I am actually begging you guys to please support Bill. So Bill, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for being sharing more than I would had imagined you would be sharing.
Right.
I a surprise, but
Well, I'd already told you that, right?
you did. But I keep that private. You know, I whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. We said
anything
it
that's
behind
shared to me, it's
backstage.
private. I respect, the privacy of whoever I'm supporting in any type of way. Your privacy is number one. Um, Now, Bill is trying very hard. So if you don't see that right now, um, then I'm sorry you don't see it. But I see it and I feel it and I witnessed it. So yes, please support. And Bill, thank you so much. I'm gonna leave the link here up for a little bit for our friends to see. But if there's anything else that you'd like to share before we head on out, please do.
I would just say the calm exterior does not reflect the fear that I have inside. And sometimes that is deceiving to people because they think I'm okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not okay, guys. Yeah, not okay. So please send the support his way. Reach out to me if there's an organization that wants to help directly. I'll be happy to coordinate with you if needed. Thank you all so much. And I'm going to leave this here for a little bit for anyone that may want to take a screenshot or share it. Please do. Thank you, Bill. I will see you in the back. I'll see you in the backstage. Okay.
All right.
You're welcome.
Okay.